Former WWE Women's Champion Sasha Banks has been holding out on the WWE since she and Bayley dropped the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship at WrestleMania 35. However, it looks like that may have changed. Join us now as WrestleLamia looks at Sasha Banks and other wrestling news, including the fallout from AEW's Fyter Fest, Paige's unhappiness with WWE writers, the WWE's recent Japanese tour, and Rusev possibly exiting the WWE. But first, let's look at Sasha Banks and whether she's back in the WWE. Rumour has it that the WWE and Sasha Banks may have reached an agreement on reconciling their apparent differences, leading to Banks signing a new contract with the WWE. On 30th June 2019, Brad Shepard tweeted, "According to a source in WWE, the company offered Sasha Banks a multi-year 7-figure deal this weekend." Shepard later pointed out, and just to clarify, that isn't 7 figures per year. It's a 7-figure deal in total. Banks was last seen with Bayley at WrestleMania 35 and was reportedly furious that the Boss and Hug Connection were dropping the women's tag team belts. According to the 15th April 2019 edition of the Wrestling Observer, according to one person high up, Banks tried to quit over the weekend as she felt blindsided when finding out at the last minute that they were taking the tag team titles from her and Bayley. She had thought that the two of them would be given a chance to have a strong run and bring credibility to the belts and establish them as serious belts. Then the decision was made to go to the Iconics, who, as champions, could only make the belts seem like gimmick comedy belts. The WWE gave Banks a leave of absence, a leave she spent time bashing the WWE on social media. However, one person claims that Banks is happy with the WWE and that her anger with the company is a work. Wrestling insider Tom Colahue suggested, "It has been reported recently that Sasha Banks has been offered a bumper new contract with WWE, but I have been told by multiple sources that this is not the case. In fact, the message coming through is very clear that Banks' time away from the company is not being considered as anything too out of the ordinary. A few people asked for time off after WrestleMania. Sasha Banks has worked extremely long and extremely hard. She's earned it." One of the few people mentioned could be Rusev, who is rumoured to also have asked for some time off. The Usos and Naomi also spent considerable time away at the beginning of last season, for example. In fact, while WWE and Banks are in continual contact, and there have been discussions about how to encourage her back, I'm told that WWE aren't particularly unhappy with the situation. They've gone with Bayley and she's doing well. When Sasha comes back, she'll slot right back in. Vince McMahon is also apparently a fan of how Banks has been using her social media to troll fans of other companies into thinking that she may be switching sides. I've been told that he finds the whole thing very funny, just as long as it doesn't drag on too long. This latest development in Banks' situation should not rule out the possibility that she signed a new deal with the WWE. Although Banks just inked a new contract with the WWE in 2018, it's possible she signed a contract extension, which is possible considering how Vince McMahon has been trying to lock in superstars for as long as possible to keep them from signing with AEW. Speaking of AEW, let's look at the Fyter Fest fallout. Fyter Fest went all in when it came to hardcore wrestling. As we discussed in our recent video on the show, there were 2 hardcore matches as well as a violent bout between Cody and Darby Allin. The Cody match has drawn considerable criticism due to a post-match run-in by Shawn Spears, aka Ty Dillinger in WWE, that saw him blast Cody with an unprotected chair shot to the face. Footage of the chair shot suggests Rhodes was struck in the back of the head with the chair, and while Cody didn't get a concussion, he did require multiple staples to the back of his head to close up the wound. Critics blasted AEW for allowing an unprotected chair shot, especially in light of what's known today about concussions and CTE. However, AEW seems to be defending the spot, as suggested by Tony Khan's post-Fyter Fest media scrum where he stated, "It was really regrettable what happened. I don't know if this is the time to go into detail about what happened, but we had taken precautions in this situation, in that specific situation, and a doctor was available. And Cody did not have a concussion and has staples, and we're all very grateful for that. It was unfortunate what happened after the match between when Shawn went and did that. It was an unfortunate situation, and all I'm going to say to you guys on it right now, and I will talk about it in more detail, but you could build the safest airplane in the world, and if there's a pilot error, there's a pilot error, and that was not good. So yeah, PW Insider's Dave Shearer was unimpressed by Khan's statement, writing, "Cody taking the chair shot to the head was very disturbing. Tony Khan's explanation that you can't build the best plane and pilot error can ruin it just holds no water. Here's the deal, Tony. You are in charge. You are the one that makes sure, through your producers, that kind of thing doesn't happen. You need to make it clear that if Cody doesn't lift his arms, you tell Shawn Spears to hit him in the chest. With all we know about CTE, you can't just let that spot happen." Tony Khan is a lifelong wrestling fan and is undoubtedly aware of the industry's history of wrestlers working hurt and taking sick bumps in order to get over. It'll be interesting to see how AEW spins this incident and whether fans will embrace a return to more violent action and the likelihood of more concussed wrestlers. Wrestler Lance Storm hypothesized on social media as to what might have happened, recalling his days in ECW. Storm tweeted, "In ECW, when Tanaka's neck got bad from Ball's chair shots, they cut the pins that attached the top part of the seat to the frame, so when he got hit the seat would swing up easy. Problem is, when it swings up easy, your head goes in further, and if you aren't careful, the lip of the seat back becomes even more dangerous. Cutting someone with the lip of the seat back is a rookie chair shot mistake I made with Bam Bam in the ECW. I assume this is what happened on the AEW show last night. To be clear, I'm not condoning the chair shot, just offering what I think happened." Perhaps ironically, Khan also mentioned that it's unlikely that fans will see intergender wrestling at AEW events. He explained, "Probably won't see it in AEW. If there was one thing in it, I'll just be super frank about this. How many of you guys were at All In? The Battle Royal, does everybody remember when Jordan Grace got hit in the face? That was probably the one thing I didn't like about All In, and I don't think that's cool. I'm really against, domestic abuse, and I don't think I'm not saying that it is, and it's a really complex question, and I knew it would come up sooner or later, but it's probably not what we're gonna do. We're gonna focus on a men's division, singles and tag, and a women's division, singles and tag, and have those divisions. Could it be some mixed division? I haven't thought that much about it, but mixed matches are probably not what we're gonna focus on. What are your thoughts on the matter? Would you like to see intergender wrestling in AEW? Something different from the WWE? Let us know in the comments down below. Our next news involves Paige complaining about the women's division. Following her stint as SmackDown General Manager, Paige has been managing the duo the Kabuki Warriors, and in an exclusive interview with The Sun, the former in-ring competitor discussed her frustrations with WWE Creative and their work with her team. "If we don't get used, I get really frustrated because we're a good tag team and we need to be utilized. Sometimes the writers have so much on their plate with everyone else's storylines, they put things on the back burner. I have to remind them, okay, but there is a women's tag team title. I'm like, what the hell, dudes? Let's make something happen. It frustrates me, but once you actually get to speak with Vince and Hunter about your problems and frustrations, they're always the first to say, let's change this. If you go up to the writers, it's like talking to a brick wall sometimes. Whereas if you go to Vince and Hunter, they're like, if you have a problem, we can change that for you. So I'm happy we have a boss that really listens to us." The Kabuki Warriors recently defeated the Iconics in a non-title match, earning a women's tag team championship bout, which will hopefully make Paige even happier, especially should they win the belts. With Extreme Rules fast approaching, you might see the Iconics defend their title there. If so, it'll be the first time it's been defended on a pay-per-view since WrestleMania 35. Are we also saying bye-bye to the Bulgarian Brute? According to a Forbes article, there's further speculation that Rusev might be leaving the WWE. His run in the WWE has been a mixed bag, with the big man enjoying an initial push, only to get bounced around the card. Dave Meltzer commented, "There's no word yet on if Rusev is interested in leaving WWE, but it would not come as a surprise to many, as it's believed he is unhappy with his position in the company due to some of his comments in media interviews and on social media." Rusev has been vocal about his displeasure working for the company, and during an appearance on Lillian Garcia's podcast Chasing Glory, Rusev lamented, "That's what irks me, is that I do all these things but nothing changes. That's where the frustration comes. So what am I supposed to do then? Cut my hair? I did that. It was not a good decision. I love the short hair, but I got a few phone calls about it. I'm just trying something, this or that, to try and catch Vince's eye. Something we go, we pitch, we talk. He just never comes to anything." According to the Forbes article, Rusev was the WWE's #1 merchandise seller for a time in 2017, and fans happily recall his Rusev Day run as a short-lived burst of momentum. As noted earlier, Rusev has been taking time off from the WWE, perhaps contemplating his wrestling future if he leaves, as he'll have several options on where to work. However, it's been said that Lana has been voicing her displeasure at Rusev leaving and is trying to convince him to re-sign. Would this be the best thing for him? And our final story is WWE in Japan. The WWE toured Japan this weekend, with the promotion offering Japanese fans a Bullet Club reunion of sorts, as former club members Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson and AJ Styles were joined by Triple H taking on Samoa Joe, Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre. Triple H won the match for his new teammates, where he pedigreed Baron Corbin for the win. The show also saw the Kabuki Warriors defeat the Iconics, earning a title shot at the Iconics Women's Tag Team Championship. The 28th June 2019 show at Tokyo's Ryogoku Arena featured Seth Rollins successfully defending the Universal Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura. A show was held the next night at the same venue, with the club members Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows unsuccessfully challenging the Revival for the Raw Tag Team Championship. But there you have it guys, the latest on Sasha Banks and other wrestling news. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.